back then there was like very few girls you're gonna see training.
We're opening like a lockbox here. Back then, there were a lot of catty girls. Other girls just saw it as like you taking your spot.
Scott gave you your first chance, and that was with Border City Wrestling, right?
It was with Border City Wrestling, and I managed the franchise, Shane Douglas, and he was
Wow.
wrestling that night for the BCW Heavyweight Championship.
You pronounce my name really well because a lot of people used to F up my last name.
I know how important it is for people to just get your name right.
Right.
That was always my priority.
Give me your experience when you were there in a ring or announcing the show.
And the way he did it,
Okay.
God love him. We walked into the building. We showed up in Chicago, and he's like, "Oh, by the way, you're going to be announcing. You're going to start announcing."
When did you guys were like so sure that you're gonna marry?
Like my mom, she got sick, and so I had dedicated a lot of my time to her, and I wasn't doing anything. Sorry. Oh, I wasn't giving myself the time that I needed for myself. And my husband brought me out of that.
Jade, how are you? How's life treating?
Life is amazing. You're my friend. You're my best friend.
No,
So life is amazing.
Mhm.
Yes, there's no complaints. My family are healthy. You know, my husband is wrestling at AEW. He's happy there. I'm happy. The kids are loving being able to watch him do his thing. You know what I mean?
And thank you so much for coming and making this happen. Means a lot.
Oh, it means a lot. It means a lot that you asked me. Thank you. Happy to be here.
Yeah, we are friends, so we're gonna have a good conversation. Don't worry. I'm gonna make it a little bit easy for you. I'm not gonna ask you crazy questions.
Don't embarrass me. No, I'm kidding.
Okay. I wanna start with asking you about. I was telling my audience actually that you started your career with professional wrestling, and then you were a manager. You used to manage people in professional wrestling, and then you are an announcer too, right? So let's talk about your announcing part. I want to know about your professional wrestling career too, but first I want to know, as an announcer, how did you got that opportunity, and was you scared? Because I know you were in the ring a lot of time for the wrestling match, but give me your experience when you were there in a ring speaking or announcing the show.
Okay, we got some time here. Okay, so very strange story. Not so strange. It's, you know, maybe I hope this kind of helps other people out.
Mhm.
I don't know. But I really have a lot to thank to Scott D'Amore. And I'll go back to the announcing in a second. But Scott D'Amore was the very first person to ever book me. So I started off my career in Michigan. And he just kind of gave me a chance. He was just like, okay, you know, I'm going to put you on the show today. I showed up. I just showed up as I was doing, you know, as a new independent wrestler. You show up to shows, show your face around. And he gave me a chance. So with then Impact Wrestling, he gave me a chance. And he gave me a brand new role that I have never done before. And the way he did it,
Okay.
God love him. The way he did it, we walked into the building. We showed up in Chicago, and he's like, "Oh, by the way, you're going to be announcing. You're going to start announcing." And
Wow.
I'm like, "Of course you would tell me the news this way." He's like, "Yeah, of course, because I knew you'd be freaking out about it the night before, the week before, maybe, you know, however long." And he's right, because he knows me. We've been friends for 20 plus years, you know, so he knows I would have been stressing and probably go way over my head in just thinking, "Oh my gosh, how is this going to go? I've never done this before." I mean, mind you, yes, I did stress out, you know, but, you know, the length of time was shorter, but I liked the way he did it. It was just like, oh my goodness, well, I gotta go on in like, you know, 6 hours, so let's do it. So he kind of just, it was just let's see what you can do, And Scott being my friend, I can't disappoint him. You know, I owe him so much just for giving me like a simple opportunity. And once you're given an opportunity, it is up to you how you take it and what you do with it.
And you did great with that opportunity. You killed it. Like, I remember seeing you ringside when I used to had matches on TNA. I had no clue that you're gonna announce, and seeing you announcing, and I was like, oh, like
There
what's
you
going
are.
on here?
I didn't know that. Yes. And I love that because I got to announce you like
Mhm.
a lot. And 2023, that's when I started announcing in April. And I think the first air date was like the beginning of May.
No, thank you so much. Actually, you pronounced my name really well because a lot of people used to f up my last name. People say Gujar, Gurjar, and you were like perfect, Bhupinder Gujar. I
See,
was like,
okay, that means so much to me because, I mean, me being Asian, right? I know how important it is for people to just get your name right.
right,
That was always my priority to
Mhm.
get everyone's names right, especially our international stars.
right,
Like it's very important because not only is it your name, but you're also representing your country. You know what I mean?
right,
And then TNA was being, watched all over. And we had a channel in India, correct?
right. Yep.
Right. And so to me, that was very important that
hmm
get your name right. And that was, and even, luchadors and all that stuff,
hmm
I would go up to them. I would bug.
Black Tarus. Tarus is easy actually, but
No, no,
let's
no, no,
say.
no. What's, oh my gosh. Can we cut this out? He had the mask that's like that had the kind of like the spikes at the top. Not is
He
it
used to be
Lindsay
with TNA.
Dorado? Not Lindsay. Oh my gosh.
We
In
used to have
TNA.
Laredo Kid.
Thank you.
Okay.
We're gonna cut that. Okay. Um, I used to bug Laredo Kid all the time.
hmm
And thank goodness for him. He was so clutch for me because I'd come to him. I'm like, Laredo, please help me. Can you please help me? And he would say it slow for me, and I'd keep practicing and practicing and practicing.
And that makes your job easy. Then you can
Yeah.
ask whatever you want. People gonna help you to, let's say, pronounce their name, help you to write down. So that way, it's easy for you to, kind of write in your own way, so you can pronounce it later.
Yeah.
Jade, I want to ask you, like, how do you get into professional wrestling? Was that a thing in your family? They used to watch wrestling?
Oh, yes. So I remember when I was 3, maybe,
hmm
and my dad and my grandfather sat me in front of the TV because that's when they found wrestling.
Okay.
Yes, so that they watched all the WWF, WCW, all of that stuff, and we'd watch it as a family. And then when all the pay-per-views were on Sunday nights, and we'd all have family dinner together and watch the pay-per-view. So it was always in the family. We're just huge fans. And the way I got into it, I was still in high school at the time, and I went through like I went through my first breakup. Yeah, okay, I had like first love, right? So I went through first breakup, and I'm a teenage girl,
Mhm.
so not knowing a lot about love, just thought, oh, that was love for me, and I just like locked myself in the room, and wrestling was my outlet. I started training, and it got me out of my bedroom, out of the negative space that was in my head, and I started training and training.
So you
That's what it was.
you diverted all that energy into professional wrestling. That's a great way, actually. And how hard it was for you to be a pro wrestler. Back then, there was like very few girls you're gonna see training, and the support wasn't there. How hard it was for you?
Ooh, you're opening like a lockbox here.
Open it.
Oh, okay. Well, you found the key. So back then it was 2005, 2004, 2005 was when I, was really traveling a lot. It was hard. There were not many girls. Back then there were a lot of catty girls because Other girls just saw it as like you taking your spot. Now it's completely different, which is amazing. Back then, definitely a male dominant business.
Mhm.
It was hard for girls to get in. And I always hated it because I never joined in the intention of, I don't care. I'm going to take the spot. It was never me. And I always got, and maybe I was just too nice. And I was just like, okay, well, like, I'm not one to step on toes. I'm not going to step on toes. And I always kept to myself. So I didn't make a whole ton of friends. And the very few that I did make friends, I have kept them close to my heart even till this day. And they know who they are. But it was tough back then.
So it was hard to find a good friend, especially in professional wrestling back then, because they see you as a threat. And you said Scott Demore gave you your first chance, and that was what was with Border City Wrestling, right?
Yes, it was with Border City Wrestling, and
You managed or you wrestled?
I managed, and I am just the luckiest girl in the world because he put me out there to manage the franchise, Shane Douglas. And he was
Wow.
wrestling that night for the BCW Heavyweight Championship.
That's big.
And that's really big. and he won that night. I managed him. No.
Yeah.
because
All
of
kudos
him.
to you.
I mean, what a way to debut. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
First of all, I used to watch Shane Douglas. And so for me to manage him was so huge. And then for him to win the championship belt was even bigger.
Cherry on the cake.
But what was very memorable
Mhm.
was that Shane always took the time after the match and
Mhm.
give me critiques. That really helped me with managing, with knowing just all like the little bits and pieces of it.
Mhm.
And prior to that, I already loved managing. You know, I loved Sensational Sherry. She was my absolute favorite.
Mhm.
And she was who I looked up to because she wasn't just a valet, because I hate, and my husband will tell you, don't ever call her a valet, because I was never a valet. A valet is a person who just walks you to the ring and that's it.
Mhm.
I was a manager. I wasn't scared to get in there, to, you know, get hurt for my client, and, you know, you do whatever it takes to
Distract
get
the
that
opponent.
W, right? Yes. I mean,
Whatever
what are you
it-
talking about? Managers don't distract people.
Whatever it takes to win the match.
Exactly.
And yeah, and after that, you said you used to go to Michigan a lot.
Mhm.
How long it took you to get your big offer, like working with ROH?
Okay, so again, lucky person here. I
Mhm.
just had, I don't know, like a four-leaf clover or something. But I just kept doing indies in Michigan, kept doing it almost every weekend. I was doing something.
By the way, it was easy to cross the border back then, right? Because right now you need a visa to go over there, and it's risky. They can ban you anytime without visa.
I mean, not, I guess a little easier, but like for me, crossing the border, it never felt easy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
I remember the other day you were telling me you were freaking out and you had a visa, but you're still super nervous while crossing the border.
I have PTSD crossing the border. It sucked having to cross every week.
Mhm.
It sucked because they would always pick on you. You know what I mean? And I feel like they would do that just for fun. And me being like the person, I'm not doing any harm. I'm just,
You know what? I think when you go there, you are super nervous. And then they were like, oh, she's lying or she has something going on. She's not telling us. Like, frankly, I traveled with TNA for 3 years. Luckily, I never got any problem.
I always got to, yeah, always tell the truth. And
Mhm.
that's what I did. But it was just the fact that, you know, it's an authority, right? And they can decide whatever. You could be the nicest person,
Right.
but ultimately, if they're having a bad day, they don't care if you're a nice person. So that was always in the back of my mind.
Mhm.
I always told the truth because why lie? And still, and you're right. This year, all I didn't cross at all, not even to go shopping. I was terrified simply because I really wanted the only time or the first time crossing this year without having a visa. I wanted to be there for my husband's AEW debut. That was the most important thing. I just wanted to be there for the debut,
Mm.
and that nervousness came through. And so he's like, well, okay, so where's your husband? I was like, oh, he's already there. He's at the airport. He's meeting me, but he had some stuff to do like beforehand. And plus he's staying an extra day because it's 2 days of taping. I can only go for 1 day
Mm-hmm.
because kids, right? And he's like, okay. I was like, oh, please just let me go there. I just need to. It's different being there live than just watching on TV. You get to experience the whole atmosphere, and I love the walking weapon chants, and I love the way it echoes throughout the building, and it just fills my heart. So I had to be there.
Back to ROH. So how you got the chance, how you got the big opportunity? Because I want to talk about the match, Jamie Ray versus CM Punk, the cage match, and you were part of it. How all that happened,
How I got into ROH.
and you got the spot in the match.
Yeah. So again, very, very lucky. I was showing my face around a lot. I was doing a lot of indies in Michigan, like I had stated. And back then, there were other pockets of like NWA, right? So NWA used to have promotions in certain cities. So the one in New Jersey was called NWA Cyberspace. So the promoter there contacted me and wanted to book me as like a bodyguard. Okay, so me being 5'6", and back then I was like skinny, like no big muscle mass or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, this guy wants to book me as a bodyguard, but here was the thing. It gets way more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So, have you ever watched Kill Bill?
Kill Bill, yeah.
Okay. The girl, Go-Go,
Mhm.
right? So she was that badass. I think she had like a ball and chain that she would whip around,
Yeah.
and she just like kicked ass.
Right.
So he's like, I want like Go-Go style. I was like, oh, okay, I can do that, right? But that promoter, he, one of the masks in Kill Bill
Mhm.
that the bad guys wore,
Yeah.
he actually he like bid on it and he won.
Oh, he bought it online for you? The
Yeah.
mask?
So
Wow.
he bought it from them. I don't know how much he spent, but like that was the official like one of the masks.
Mm.
So he had me put that on in like a traditional like schoolgirl outfit. So I had like the skirt and like the blazer and all that.
Mm.
And I tried to like mimic the actual like go-go stuff. So I went to like a thrift shop because I was in Michigan at the time, and I only had a few days to gather this stuff. So I went to a thrift store. I found a blazer. I found this, one of their ties was like this really neat, like a tie, not
Right.
like a traditional,
Yeah.
our tie, like Canadian tie. And I dyed it red just to make it looked really good. And I found a badge and I sewed it on right away. And with this mask,
Thank God you didn't brought any sword with you.
he gave me a kendo stick.
Oh, okay.
So all I had to do, I was booked. I would get flown to New Jersey,
Okay.
and his wife, sweet girl, she was so amazing, so nice. She was the kind of, she was the manager. She was like the one kind of like ordering, her clients around, okay, kill this guy, beat this guy up, and all this stuff. And I was her bodyguard. So I just stood there with a kendo stick, and every show I got to hit somebody with a kendo stick. It was amazing. Anyways,
The best feeling.
but one funny story, and I totally understood why he did this. The moment I would get to the back, as soon as I'd come back behind the curtain, there'd be a guy there being like, okay, I need the mask right now, because it was worth so much, because it was the official mask. So I'm like, yeah, here you go,
Right. You don't want to lose that.
So I was like, yeah, take it out of my hands, because I don't want to lose it. I don't want to be blamed for it. But at that show, Prince Nana used to work them too. So he was the one who scouted me, and he said, hey, I love your look. I love what you're doing. Um, ROH is having a show in Boston next week. He's like, do you have anything? And me, I always had a tape ready, a VHS.
Okay.
I had a tape. I always had it on me. So I had a tape ready. I had an 8x10 ready. I had a resume ready, even though there was barely anything on that resume. But like,
But you still had
yeah,
something
because
to
I wanted, and
give.
even though I was only managing, I wanted to be looked at as like, hey, I'm here. I mean business. I want to get booked. I want to show that I can do these things as well.
Right.
This is me taking it seriously. I give my stuff to Prince Nana, and he's like, okay, great. Do you think you could make it to Boston? I was like, yep, absolutely. In my head, no clue how I was gonna get there. I just told Prince Nana I will be there, and I'm like, the moment we kind of dispersed, I was like, oh, how am I gonna get there? But I got there. I showed up to Boston, April 16th, 2005.
You remember the date?
I remember the date because Josh's AEW debut this year was April 16th, 2025 in Boston.
Wow.
So I kind of sat there. I'm like, man, when was the last time that I was in Boston? Because I'm like, I don't even know when Josh was in Boston last time. And then I was like, oh my gosh. And I
20
remembered
years.
because I remember the day. I remember it was around April. So I quickly Googled, and it was April 16th, and I just froze. And then that's what made me even more nervous, because I was like, I have to be, like, it was meant to be for me to be at the show. Like, I need to be at the show, because now not only does it mean so much watching my husband, but just the reasoning behind it with Tony Khan owning Ring of Honor. It's such a beautiful moment, because I've talked to Prince Nana, I'll talk to him over message, or even like we've had a couple phone calls, and I even did his podcast like years ago. And every time we talked to each other, it was like we never skipped a beat. The respect, the friendship was always there between us. And to actually see him in person on that specific day, it meant so much to me.
Jimmy Rave match, you had to be there, right? How did it made you feel when you was going out of the curtain? You had anything in your mind going on? How did you prepare yourself for that big moment, that big match?
Ooh, well, first, rest in peace to Jimmy Rave. That match specifically, seeing the cage, when I showed up, I remember seeing the cage, and I knew for sure. I was like, okay, there's definitely going to be blood in this match some way or another, because the hatred between Punk and Rave was so strong. So I'm like, what I had brought to the show, I forget what I brought, probably just my usual outfit. But I'm like, I need to wear white clothes. I need to wear something white. So I ran out, and the streets of Chicago, I ran out that day and tried to find anything white. So it was just a simple tank top and a simple skirt, because I didn't have much time to look for anything. So I got the white clothes just simply for the pure fact of, okay, there's gonna be blood. We're gonna really showcase just how gruesome this was going to be. And with those two, like, everybody knew right away, because they're just maniacs. But woof, that spear though that Rave gave me
How was your ribs after the match?
was no joke. And then did you see the clip afterward? It was kind of panned out, but afterwards I finally roll out of the cage, right? And then Nana was there, and he like helps me out, and carries me, brings me out, and he's just like, wait a second, what am I doing this for you? And he just
Throw you up.
onto the floor. He's just like, I'm not here to do this. And he just puts his hands down.
That's a meme though. Just
I'm
catch
like,
you and you realize, oh,
"Man."
and
But yeah, I can't tell you, like, Prince Nana took care of me so much. Like I mentioned, the amount of respect that we have for each other,
Mhm.
it's
Yeah.
I keep praising him because throughout, I mean, that storyline today would not be able to do well here.
Mhm.
And you know, it's a thing where like, you know how certain movies are great and then sometimes they don't need a sequel,
Right.
you know? So in
Mhm.
like this day and age, a sequel of that probably wouldn't go well.
Right. And Jade, who's your best friend in professional wrestling? Because you have met many people. Some of them helped you during your struggling time. Some of them just kind of, leave you alone. Like, do you have any person who you can trust, especially in professional wrestling?
I do. Besides my husband, um, oh, we're talking about like best friend right now that I talk to. I have like, okay, best friends that I talk to every day, right? I mean, like every day is Deanna Perrazzo and Tracy Brooks.
Okay.
Yeah, because we have not only the wrestling side of things, but you know, we have kids as well. And
Mhm.
so we bonded a lot through our kids alone.
Right.
And Deanna, I love her so much because we have the same energy. And a lot of times when I talk to her, like I don't have to explain. I don't have to explain with, you know, whatever I'm talking to her about. She
She's
gets it.
super nice.
She's a sweetheart.
Yeah.
She's a sweetheart and she can kick ass.
Mhm.
I want to see her. She's such an amazing wrestler. I need to see Deanna wrestle. Like, but I love her. Yeah. I talk to her every day. And Deanna and Steve are like, it's like our like couple best friend. You know what I mean? And Steve, both Steve and Deanna, they are sweethearts. They will help anybody. They're just so willing to help people. It's and them as a couple, they're so beautiful too. Like, oh,
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
love you guys. I love you, Steve and Dee.
Diana and Steve Macklin, a great couple,
Mhm.
great people. Like when I used to travel for TNA, they were always there to help. They were super nice, always talking, asking me about my home country, asking about wrestling. So basically trying to talk to me and trying to know how things works in India, professional wrestling wise. Now I want to ask you this question actually. How you and Josh met? Who made the first move?
Okay, wait. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you ask my husband this?
No, I didn't ask him because I wanted to ask
Really?
you. We had a lot of things to talk about professional wrestling, so I was like, I'm going to ask you that question.
Okay. Good, because my story is the right story anyway. So you don't need to know his side of it. No, actually, he made the first move.
Oh.
And it was over Twitter. I was at the time, I was trying to win a new BlackBerry phone.
Oh yeah. I
Do you
was
remember BlackBerry phones?
I was doing some research on you and study on you, and I got to know you love blackberries.
And that was, you searched me, and that's what you found.
Yeah.
I love that. I used to be obsessed with Blackberries. That was like my phone. And that was the phone where I was like, I am never changing. But of course, they started to not make them anymore. And I loved it. I loved the little trackball and everything anyway.
Mhm.
And like the physical keypad. But I switched to iPhone for my husband
Mhm.
and for the chats because I'd always get made fun of. So anyway, I finally did that. But I was trying to win a brand new BlackBerry, and the Raptors had a contest going on.
Okay.
Hashtag RTZ. But they had a contest going on with like the best saying or something, or the best tweet.
Mhm.
So I put out, I'm like, oh, can anybody help me with like, you know, this basketball? Can anybody help? I quote tweeted the Raptors. I said, can anybody help me? I want to win this BlackBerry. And Josh, being the biggest Raptors fan, the biggest NBA fan,
Mhm.
messages me, oh, what do you need help with? And at that time, like I had only met him a couple times,
Okay.
never talked to him before that. I went to his retirement match just to show support, right? It was like Ontario independent wrestler who has to retire from a neck injury. Like
Mhm.
it touched me just like anybody else because that's not how one wants to go
That was a
out.
big event.
It
He
was a
had to
night. Yep.
quit on his dreams just because of his neck injury, and
I mean, but look at him now, right? So
he's killing the
everything worked
game now.
out.
He's
Yeah,
everywhere now.
everything worked out.
I'm so happy to see him flying all over.
I know, me too.
But he worked hard for 15 years,
Yep.
and then he got all these opportunities.
Hmm. He worked very hard for it, so he absolutely deserves it. But he texted me, or not texted me, he DM'd me, and he's like, "Oh, what do you need help with?" I said, "Oh, I just need some like funny slogan and like something funny." So he sent it to me. I was like, "Great," and I was like, "Okay, I didn't win. I didn't win." And then we didn't speak again until they had the contest again the following month, and I DM'd him. I'm like, "Hey, I need your help again. Is that okay?" So he helped me again, and then that's when we started kind of like DMing back and forth a little bit by a little bit. And then come March, like we started talking a lot more, like almost like every day more. And then, you know, there was something there. But in summary, Josh was the one
made the
to make
first move.
Yeah.
Okay. But Josh is always there to help people. He helped me a lot, so I kind of doubt that story. I'm gonna ask Josh.
What? You doubt my story, Boo?
He's my big brother, so I had to take his side.
Oh my gosh, you don't know how crazy I can get.
Oh,
Look
you
at
know
these
what?
eyes.
I'll take your side. I believe you.
Okay, thank you.
And you guys start seeing each other, and when did you guys were like so sure that you're gonna marry?
Almost instantly.
Oh wow, that's beautiful.
I liked your. I like the way you reacted there. Oh, that was so genuine. Boopy, that was so cute. Sorry. That was so genuine. Oh. Yeah.
No, usually it takes time, and
I
when
know.
you say,
And you know what? I would not suggest our love story for other people. It worked for us. I had got out of a 5-year relationship, like a year and a half prior to us meeting. And I just knew, you know, like I was hurt really bad from that. And from that, you learn, right? So I knew the exact type of guy that I wanted. I knew what I wanted in a relationship. I knew what I could give in a relationship. You know, you look back and you try to work on yourself and before you meet anybody else, because you can't meet somebody when you're not like 100% of yourself. You know what I mean? And it just so happened that I met him, and like my mom got she got sick, and so I had dedicated a lot of my time to her in like that was just all of my time, and I wasn't doing anything. Sorry. Oh boy, you're getting all of Jay Chung today. I wasn't giving myself the time that I needed for myself, and my husband brought me out of that, and he really,
Josh is a guy definitely gonna be there for you to help you out on all those situations. And I'm sorry that you had to. I didn't want to open that.
You opened up another box, Boopy, and here we are. No, it's all good. You know, it's a situation that I don't talk about every day, right? But
I can tell you love your mom a lot.
Yes, but it's like when you do talk about it, I mean, this was like this happened to my mom like 10 years ago. She had a very rare brain aneurysm, and which completely changed her life.
Mhm.
But it's like it's something that I don't talk about every day.
Right.
So when I do talk about it, like she's doing great now. She's not
Mhm.
100%, and she'll never be,
Mhm.
but she has come so far, and it's just the tears are just how far she's come, you know what I mean? And Josh, he was a big support for me, and for him to come into a relationship, and I always tried not to be like, I was never mopey or negative or anything, right? But he was always there to like support me. And the the big thing for me that I was like, wow, I think this is like the one is that whenever I'd go visit my mom, I would be there for hours,
Mhm.
right? And when it was just me, when I was single, like I was by my mom's side like 12 hours a day. Luckily, at that time, I was working, bottle service because I had just like ended college, and so I was still like working to pay that off and living because Toronto is so freaking expensive.
It is.
So I kept doing bottle service then to help, pay and like get money because man.
Right.
So it didn't, I was there 12 hours a day, every day to be by my mom's side. And that was like for a solid 6 months, I did that. You know what I mean? And then slowly, like, I knew that I couldn't, like, I was being swallowed. And I knew, and this was when my mom wasn't very active,
Mhm.
like, and she didn't know who I was most of the time. So it was just like there in hopes of, oh my gosh, if her memory comes back, I want someone to be there that she remembers. And so I had to like get that out of my head and be like, okay, you're not doing anything for yourself. So you need a kick out of it, because when my mom gets out, like, what I've done isn't going to help me for the future. And anyway, Josh knew that I wanted to go visit my mom, and Josh said, "Oh, I'll come with you," right? And it was like his first time meeting my mom too. And I said, "Okay, but like I tend to stay for like at least 2 to 3 hours if that's what." He's like, "That's fine." So he sat there, and like my mom was kind of like nonverbal for a long time.
Mhm.
Like she would answer, but she wouldn't know to make conversation, or even her memory. She wouldn't know what to ask. Like she would just sit there, right? But he would sit there. He sat there for 2 to 3 hours
Such a
while
sweet guy.
I just hung out with my mom, and it was that that moment. I knew, I knew, and things were really quick.
Mhm.
And like he had no intentions of ever marrying. That's what he said. You know what I mean? But like we had our first date March 17th,
Mhm.
and a lot of people think he's Irish because of his four-leaf clover tattoo on his back, which he's not. That's just to
But
symbolize us, because I
okay.
have one on mine too, and we just filled it in with whatever we like. He likes skulls,
Mhm.
so he filled his in with skull. I love like peonies and like certain types of flowers, so mine was filled in like that too. And then exactly 1 month after that, and this wasn't like ever planned, it just kind of fell into it. So
Mhm.
April 17th, he proposed to me, and it was just like it was in his home. He just felt like I need to do this now, and he just proposed, and it happened to be on April 17th, and then June 17th we got married in City Hall, and we kept it to ourselves for a whole year. And then the following year, everyone thought that they were coming to our wedding, but we stopped the ceremony. We turned to everybody else, and we said, actually, you guys are here to help us celebrate our 1 year anniversary.
Wow.
So what doesn't work for everybody, but
That's a beautiful love story. We can make a movie on it.
doesn't work for
But
everybody, but it worked for us. And we just celebrated our 9 year anniversary. So
oh wow, congrats. But what's the reason to keeping that secret for a year?
just for it, for ourselves, because you always hear about um, people saying that the wedding happened so fast, and like, you know, during your wedding you always make sure, and all you'll understand this, I know, because with the, you know, my traditional wedding, we always have to make sure we visit every single table,
Right.
and that's like one of our
100%.
things, right?
Yeah.
And we have to cheers every single person. You have to visit every single table and all of this. Is that you tend to not make it
Mhm.
just the two of you.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
But you had to go and kind of greet everyone who's coming there and
Yes.
be a part of the marriage.
Yes.
Your
See,
marriage happened, and then
yeah.
1 year anniversary happened. And how was that anniversary for you guys?
It was really special this year. You know, there really is no secret to however long, you know, to keep your marriage lasting. It's just you have to be open to communication. You have to work things out. You can't just not leave things.
Mhm.
And especially when you have kids, like there has to be communication. Um, I don't know the secret. I just know what works for us, and it's been working.
No, you guys are lucky that you find each other, because in this world, it's really hard to find a special person who gonna stay your side all of your life. So I'm so happy for you guys.
Thank
And
you.
Josh is such a great guy that even we are sitting here talking about, even this podcast is Josh is a big part of this, because I had an idea that I'm gonna do the podcast, but then Josh is like, I think you need to start a podcast. I was like, oh, if I'm thinking and Josh is thinking, then I'm gonna take it seriously, because Josh is like a big brother to me, and whatever he says, I kind of work on that. But wrestling upside down. You know everything about like backstage, how professional wrestling works. Um, do you want your kids to go in this profession, or what's your thoughts on this?
I'm okay with it if they want to. Like right now, so Jet's going into grade 2.
Mhm.
In junior kindergarten, they always have the kids do a sheet. What do you want to be when you grow up? Junior kindergarten, Jet says, I want to be a wrestler. Senior kindergarten, I want to be a wrestler. Grade 1, I want to be a wrestler. So I noticed
He
I
didn't
noticed it,
change.
and I'm just like, okay, let's see how long this will go for.
Mhm.
Because now he's getting older and older.
Mhm.
And I thought for sure he would kind of phase out of the wrestling.
Mhm.
But now I think he's even more obsessed with it. Like every day he's wrestling on the couch,
Mhm.
whether he's, I don't know, drawing a picture at the table or something. He would leave, run to the couch, do a move on, like, he's got like a Macho Man
Mhm. His toy.
plushie thing, yeah.
Okay.
And do a move on the couch, go back, finish his drawing and stuff, or whenever he always comes out onto the couch to wrestle, whether it's just one move he wants to do or like a series or a whole match that he just does, and then he just goes back and
Yeah,
does his own
me
thing.
and Josh was watching some match, and he just came out of nowhere and was like, "Dad, elbow drop from the top rope." So he did elbow drop from this big couch and did it and just left. I was like, "Oh."
Yes, that's just him, right? And he knows so much about wrestling. Like he will go on YouTube and look up. Like he knows stuff about Dustin Rhodes, Dusty Rhodes. Like all. He's a huge fan of Cody Rhodes, so he went and dived in on the history himself, and then he went on to learn about Undertaker and Kane relationship. And then he would just randomly be like, oh, did you know all of these matches, like the sibling matches happened, and he would list them. I'm like, oh my goodness. But he would go on to like just learn about the history of stuff that was way past his time. I'm talking about even 80s wrestling, you know what I mean? And so for him to like be interested in that era of wrestling and want to learn about it baffles my mind, because most kids are just like, this looks like old wrestling. I'm just gonna stay to the newer, you know, newer picture where everything's shot in 4K now, and
Right.
it's insane.
Yeah. Jade, how does it make you feel when you see professional wrestling for women's division, for women, is on a new level at the moment? It's really at better standards. And as compared to back then, now everybody got their chances. Back then, they had to weird matches, but now uh, women are killing in a wrestling scene. How does it make you feel? Because you have seen the change.
It makes me feel amazing. You know, back in 2005, I would have never thought. I wouldn't even cross my mind
Mhm.
to be like, oh, maybe one day, like in about 20 years from now, women are going to main event big stage shows. Like that was never a thought because it was always like you're basically dying out there because you're like, oh man, just to, for some girls, it was like just to try even to get one match.
Mhm.
Even for a whole show, a whole indie show, it was to even try to get one woman's match. And if there was a woman's match, it would either be the first match or it would be the popcorn match, which
Mhm.
was the match right after intermission. They were called popcorn because people would be out of their seats. And then to gather people back into their seats, it would be,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
So.
now it's the dynamics of wrestling is totally changed. Um, as a fan of a pro wrestling, are you a fan of old school wrestling or a wrestling going on these days?
Oh, if you would have asked me that just even 5 years ago, I would have
Mhm.
been like old school wrestling. But now I feel like everyone has kind of laid back on the super crazy moves all the time.
Mhm.
I think nowadays everyone is actually, you know, fitting this into like more technical, like, okay, this makes sense and everything. Even just years ago, it was just
Mhm.
like high-five moves everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. Or, some stories just didn't make sense and it was just a
Mhm.
product, right? And which is fine if that's what somebody is trying to do, but people like storylines, people like buildups,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? And buildups are, being in production meetings and stuff, buildups are so hard
Mhm.
to create. Like
Mhm.
people don't understand that. Yes, fans react to certain things and stuff, but you know what? Whether you're reacting negatively, positively, you're still reacting. And I think that is a huge payoff for just any type of buildup of storylines because it's so hard to build up a storyline that's going to take months, right? Even 2 months worth of like
Mhm.
storyline, that's a huge thing. And not everybody can do that. It's
Mhm.
only creative geniuses can do that.
Right. Totally agree. And before I let you go, I want you to request, talk to my audience and let them know that they had to support their athletes.
We have so much wrestling. We have so much wrestling now compared to what we had before.
Mhm.
I think we should enjoy it. We should be grateful because having so much wrestling gives everybody the opportunity to, if you like a product more, great. But here's another product giving something different.
Mhm.
If you want to expand,
Mhm.
you know, just in general, if you want to expand seeing what's out there,
Mhm.
great. Here's an option for you.
Right.
We also have an option over here. There's so much to where before it was just one thing or maybe just two things. Now we have a whole plethora of
Right.
them that we can all enjoy. If you don't like, no one is forcing you to like everything,
Mhm.
which is normal. You can't love everything.
Mhm.
You have to hate some things,
Right.
right? So, but the only thing is, if you don't like it, you don't have to comment about it
Mhm.
because we're all here. You know, wrestlers are giving up their bodies for everybody.
Mhm.
You got to think of all the
Leaving their families,
leaving their
traveling.
families. My goodness, traveling, guys, traveling is so exhausting. It's tiring. And then you need to come home and you need to also be there physically, mentally as well. So it's like you're constantly working on yourself. You know, you're going to the gym, you're working out for your job, and then you're coming home, you're spending time with your family and making sure, you know, everything is all set at home as well. Like, just keep in mind, everybody there is there to not only do what they love, right? But they're also there to like just entertain everybody, and hopefully, you know, if you want to get into wrestling or something, maybe that helps like a kid or a teenager, heck, even a grown adult. If you want to get into it, get into it. Just know, like,
Right. And I would say like athletes, especially professional wrestlers, they had to go through a lot,
mhm.
you know, on their body. Sacrifices are there. So people who are watching us, please support your athletes. And Jen, I want to say thank you so much for coming and thank you so much for sharing your thoughts, your experience with us. Really means a lot to me.
It means a lot that you had me on. Thank you so much. And everybody support Boopy because he is the best. Like, subscribe. I don't know if you're doing this on YouTube.
Yes.
Subscribe, comment, all the good things about Boopy, because I can give you a whole list of amazing things about him and absolutely zero things bad about him. So
Oh,
I
thank you
just
so
wish
much.
you like all the continued success. I'm so happy.
Thank you so much. Really means a lot. And guys, ਇਹ ਸੀ ਜੇ ਚੰਗ ਬਾਕੀ ਅਗਲੇ ਹਫਤੇ ਨਾ ਮੈਂ ਟਰਾਈ ਕਰਾਂਗਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਲਈ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਇੱਕ ਨਵਾਂ ਰੈਸਲਰ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਵਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਗੈਸਟ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਵਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਰੈਸਲਿੰਗ ਬਾਰੇ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਬਾਕੀ ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਸੋ ਮਚ ਫॉर ਵਾਚਿੰਗ ਬਣੇ ਰਹੋ ਸਬਸਕ੍ਰਾਈਬ ਕਰ ਦਿਓ ਸ਼ੇਅਰ ਕਰ ਦਿਓ ਤੇ ਕਮੈਂਟ ਕਰਕੇ ਦੱਸੋ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਡੀ ਕਨਵਰਸੇਸ਼ਨ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਲੱਗੀ ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਜੀ